Hello, hello. I'm just watching the sheep going past in the snow, and they've got those sort of snowballs attached to their fleece, like Christmas decorations. Loving the split food. Good, Philippa. That's great. Thank you. So it's lovely and crisp and sunny and quite white here, but apparently it's snowing like mad in Newcastle, which you can see if you saw the split photograph on the lockdown page. That's quite funny. One of the sheep's just turned around to look at me. Hello, Carol. Got quite a lot of pictures here. Did a little bit more work on that one. I think it's maybe nearly there. Oh, loads of snow down at Stocksfield, Wendy Rowell. Just need to do a little bit more. I think a tiny bit more to his eyes. I think I'm going to start by doing something to this cockerel and add feathers here and just clarify it a bit around the face and the eyes. Marianne Ray has just sent me a message. Hello Julie, hello Jean. She says try the Great Channel 4 period funny. I've no idea what she means. I'm sure she'll clarify later on. So make sure I've got all my paints ready. There's such a lot of paint just in palettes and on my board here and here, but there's loads to just dip into. And this one here has got lots of sort of blues and greens in that I can hopefully use. I did a little bit more work. Do you remember on whatever day it was, I very quickly started another sort of running towards hound. Did a little bit more, just added a bit more, like another wash and the feet and then the sort of ginger patches. It's quite fun. Hello Alison, hello Stephen, hello Marianne. Oh, the great Catherine. Yes, the great. It's not snowing here, Stephen. I don't know what the forecast is. Yes, Marianne Ray, we have begun watching The Great, which is quite rude. But apart from that, oh yes, you've said rude and funny. Yes, we liked it. We've talking about television, which we might as well. So I'm watching an unidentified little brown bird, which has got, I don't know what it is. I'm not very good with little brown birds. It's really sweet. I could take a photograph and then show you it. It's just sort of, oh my goodness, look, it's right there. It's literally right there. Oh, it's so cute. And I don't know what it is. It's brown. It's got a little teeny black tail. Oh, it's found a worm. And it's wrestling with the worm, which is like a boa constrictor in comparison, size-wise. Anyway, I'm twitching. Go on. What was I saying? Television. Yeah, we finished Bridgerton last night. What a lot of bodices, basically. It was like a bodicerama. It's a Netflix thing, and it's basically, you know, it's not bonnets and bodices, it's just bodices, and they're like up here. Anyway, it's finished. We've managed to plough our way through it. But I think the one about Catherine the Great, you've actually got to watch it. I don't think it's sort of streaming unless I'm wrong. Oh, Margaret Wood, you're here. We may start. Excellent. Well, I do know that you have snow because my sister did a live, no, yeah, we did like a FaceTime, and my mother was outside with the snow coming down and with a brolly on, and it was snowing like billy there. Someone said if I don't have anything to talk about, just talk about meals I've had and nature. Oh my goodness, that little tiny birds. Maybe I should try and take a photograph of it. This camera is just not good enough. Sorry. It's not good enough. Morning, Barbara Roberts. Why was she outside? I think it was social distancing. Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm going to show you something. And he's so far away he won't be able to kill me. But you know Dickie Carruthers? Dickie Carruthers, he of the selling chickens behind my back fame. He of selling chickens that end up being mink, no, not mink, ferret food fame. Wait till you see what he's been doing. Plagiarism. He's really getting quite good, isn't he? Look at the eye. So I thought the first thing I would do is a bit of work on this cockerel painting. If it's tiny, maybe it's... Maria, I do know what a wren looks like. I'm not quite that stupid. Right, I'm going to tip you up. Forgery. It says the lawyer. You see, the artist just says plagiarism and the lawyer says forgery. That's so funny. Right. I'll just bring you a little bit closer. Find a brush. Here we are. The one I pinched out of the stores the other day. And just do a little bit of Right. Maybe I'll do the pupil in the eye so it doesn't look blankly back at me anymore. Just do it the other way around because it's nearer for where I am here, so it's easier to do it upside down. And maybe I'll just swap that over there. And just go and use straight Payne's grey. And the usual thing, just leave one little white dot. There might be a tiny little bit of light reflecting on the eye. This is where I make it go bigger and bigger and bigger because I've gone and that's okay for now. And the next thing I think I'd quite like to do is add a bit of shadow. I shall roll my sleeve up again. Add a little bit of shadow to the legs. So has anybody else been watching that Bridgerton thing on the telly? Or is it just me? They're not looking so white now against the snow, are they? Hello, Julie Hall. Hello, Jane. Just tip you back down. There's one sheep just literally standing watching me. You get such a good view of their little faces and their muzzles. Sorry about the squeaky seat. Okay. Right. I think this is the colour that I used for the tail feather, so I might just add some of this, whatever it is, just to sort of make it a bit warmer. Can you see? No, sorry, I need to get a little bit more above. There we are. Not warm enough. Quite like doing that. Okay. Excuse me, folks. A friend of mine, David Nicholson, who is an undertaker, has just said, I sent a little join request to join your art class. He's a very handy person to know, especially if you have a death in the family. Have I lost sound or have you shut up? I probably shut up. Anyway, yeah, David Nicholson doesn't have to do a mean funeral. He is the concert Go As You Please concert, as in the place, not the performance. And when my mother-in-law died a few years ago, he handled everything and he was absolutely marvellous. And I mean, I know he can be a marvellous laugh, and there's no one better to go to a function with, because he's very funny and he's very naughty, but he's very, very good at what he does. The sheep is literally right. She was even closer, but look. It looks miles away, but she was. Can you see that? That one there on the very, very side was right up at the fence. See, she's looking. And do you know why? Because she's interested in painting. Oh, God, there's another one eating the grass right next to her. I love watching them. Margaret Wood, could you have a subject such as this cockerel in the centre and quite big, and then smaller repeats towards the edges, tablecloth. No. For goodness sake. Am I a magician? No. Right. I'm just going to tip. She wants to be on the video. She does want to be on the video. Right, I'm going to tip you up again because what I would like to do is like really, go sort of serious foliage-y. So I need to mix up. Just bring this in here. And there's a bit of green. Oops, I've just splashed water all over the painting. Never mind. There's a bit of green out of here. That colour and that will look amazing together. Might just need a tiny little bit more blue though, because it'll dry quite yellow. So I'm adding red as well because I quite like that. Okay, now then, I'm going to do some sort of rather ridiculous shaped leaves here just because I love the shape, these sort of heart-shaped leaves. And it is just imaginary. So I'm sort of imagining that there's maybe a garden border behind, and when you build a border, like a perennial border, you'll have sort of low things in the front, and then you might have things with sort of structure running right through the border, and you'll be thinking about your colours. So I'm just gardening on paper here, I suppose. I hope the sound is working and Marianne Ray isn't right in that the sound has gone off. Let me have a look at it, better check. I will give my good ideas to Dickie Carruthers as he is up and coming. I think he'd appreciate that, Margaret. I think he would very much appreciate that. You are a magician. Thank you. He wants a hat or diary. Yes, Marianne Ray, we've obviously been keeping abreast of our attempts at trying to shift stuff. But on a serious note, we do have loads of hats now, and I'm doing free post and package. If you put the word hat in the discount box on the website, then I'll pay the post and packaging. But obviously you've got to buy something, a hat preferably. In fact, more than one hat, even better. Because they were literally romping away online before Christmas, and I'd ordered a whole load more. Embroidered hats, that is. I'll just show you. So you see there is a black beanie hat with a cattle embroidery on. This is where I keep them. And then pom-pom hats. See, with lovely things on. Navy ones, look. With a pheasant on. With lovely pom-poms. Dickie Carruthers is making hats, socks, gloves and spectacle cases. Cow beanie. Good thought, Maria. Dickie Carruthers. I wonder if he's having problems with this avian flu, having to keep everything in, carry on. Just see if you can actually see. Yes, I think you can. Right, so just this sort of lovely simple twist of the brush to make these tropiolum, I think that's what I'm thinking of, which is like a climbing, rather sweet climbing plant that has got little heart-shaped leaves. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Tropiolum. And then they have stunning red flowers in sort of August. Now then, do you remember that cockerel I did way back on that other paper? And I did these leaves that hang down like this. Somebody said a bit like laburnum leaves, like that. I think I'm going to do that here. So I'm going to have to mix some up. There's loads of yellow there. And yellow and blues. There's no point asking me which ones because I'm not even sure what it's called. Just tip so you can see the Viridian. I think that's what Maria thought that this colour was, maybe. As you can see, I've had it for years and years. I've got no idea. And now there's maybe a bit of blue left in this. That's ultramarine. Might have to start on a new one. No, there's still quite a lot of colour in here actually. It just goes such a long way. I know you'd never believe I would ever in a lifetime use a whole jar, but it is a colour that I use such a lot of. Quite like that. It's not a very natural green, but I'm not really looking for precise at the moment. No, I'm just going to put a bit more of that, whatever it is, Iridian. I quite like the way that these leaves here are. They're like the same. They're structured the same way as the tail feathers. I think that's sort of quite funny. Need to be careful here because that tail feather's still wet. This is actually another Ludlow colour. I think this is called sap green. It's a very, very yellow green. I'll show you. I had Dickie Carruthers' mum and dad here before Christmas. I'm buying a few Christmas presents. What a laugh we had. His father, John, is quite a wag. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but I think they were talking about maybe swimming and taking clothes off. And Shirley said, I can't remember what it was, something like, well, if you're as good at taking them off as you are at... No, I know what it was injuries. If you're as good at putting them on as you are at taking them off, then we've got no hope. Clothes. How we laughed. Oops. Oh, I know, let's have a try with this colour. It's maybe the same one, I'm not even sure. I'd like a slightly darker bluer ones behind so that they look as though they're... Oh, here we are. Here's another. Here's some more blue paint. See how that looks. Ooh, rubbish. Did anybody watch that programme on telly last night about people? It was a bit like British Bake Off, but it was more like British Bake Off, but it was dog grooming. Oh, here comes Fifey. striding manfully towards the door, returning the screws that he borrowed from me, so that's good. I hate it when they take tools away and they don't bring them back. Hello. Hello. I was wondering when they were going to come back. No, it's finished. Ooh, he's off. He's been making something that I think looks just like a kennel, like a dog kennel. But it's to put his cans of diesel and petrol for all the various lawnmowers and whatnot that use them. I don't know why he's had to make a blinking kennel for them though. Maybe it's to trick the petrol thieves that we've never ever had. See, quite fun. Oops. Marianne Ray, I was just thinking, have you not done any more painting lately? And has your sense of smell returned? I'm sorry if this is dreadfully tedious. Try and move on to something a bit more glamorous and fun. I love the blue of his. Done some bad painting smell. Bad painting smell. Oh, done some bad painting. Smell still very poor. So okay if you're still sleeping in the same frock. Yeah, but I have changed my underwear. If you can change my t-shirt today. Oh, thank you, Barbara Roberts. That's very sweet of you. I'm sure it's probably quite boring for most people. So we'll maybe just leave that one there for now. All those little white areas are shouting out for something like yellow or pink. Oh, Mary, you're so kind. I'm going to have this one, similar sort of thing for now, but I'm going to have this pheasant sort of running through the rushes, so like a grassy background. So same idea, I can use the same colours, maybe just tone them down a bit, make them a bit more blue. But the really, really fun bit on a pheasant is doing the black markings on the feathers, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm off to chat with Vicky. Yeah, I haven't finished actually. I have received the diary and calendar. They're beautiful. Thank you. I am really, really welcome. Thank you, Meru. Thank you for the beautiful paints. Right, so I might get I don't know, I think I'll use this brush, bring this back, and I'm going to go for a slightly subdued. Got another one of these. A slightly paler, more subdued blue. Oh my goodness, I've got far too much out there. So I'll just show you the colour, the very scientific colour mixing. I broke all my rules and put the brush straight into here, even though it's really quite empty. And I've ended up with a huge amount of paint in here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and add it to that that's nearly there actually. I just wanted these rushes to be quite blue and fairly pale. And a tiny little bit of this red just to warm it up a bit. A bit bluer. Because as we know, blue works amazingly next to this. So the more blue, the more of that lovely sort of, that should do it. Whoops, I've gone and put my brush in the wrong place and picked up some yellow. So I quite like this really vertical thing that is going on against the very horizontal shape of the pheasant. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Right, so I think we can probably park this like it is there now. Quite like that sort of, I can add to that. So I think it might be time to pop the kettle on for the cup of soup. And what day is it? Tomorrow, Saturday. Not sure about tomorrow. I'm giving somebody a lift to get their jab. And it's supposed to be -8 degrees tonight, so that does rather depend on the car starting and all that sort of stuff. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Whoops. So yeah, I'm not quite sure when we will next be together, but probably fairly soon because basically there's all else to do. Right. Bye for now.